I danced for 17 years and I was fortunate enough to be able to do everything that I'd wanted to do. Dancing is always going to bring back so many happy memories, and it's only by doing the things that we love that we get those memories brought back to us. My name's Taylor Hahn and I'm a professional Irish dancer. I was the first male from New Zealand to get on the podium at the World Irish Dancing Championships. I was 6 years old the first time I saw a lot of the dance, and the way it came to be was Mum had paid to go up to see the show in Auckland, but it got cancelled, so she ended up buying it on VHS. Right before Michael Flatley comes on for a solo, the drums are building and the music's going, and then he just flies out onto stage. I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, that is incredible. That's definitely what I want to do. I remember I just loved dancing, and whenever there was an opportunity to show it to other people, I would always take it.
Right from the word go, he was actually very confident in his own skin and what he was doing. He knew exactly how he wanted to do things, and he just went for it.
When I was at primary school, I do the lip syncs and the talent quests. I never had any qualms about doing it, just to get out there and dance. So I didn't recall. So you do your first two dances, and if you're in the top 50%, you do a third dance and you get a placing. And I didn't actually get it past the 2 rounds. It was 2 years later that I went back to the World Championships when I was 17 in Dublin, and I'd gone from not placing at all to getting 12th place. I remember just being so happy and so shocked, and it was the first time in my dancing career that I'd ever really felt like, hey, maybe I'm good at this, maybe I can take this somewhere that I hadn't really thought of before. So I worked full-time at McDonald's for a year to save up to move to England so I could go over and continue training and be in that competitive atmosphere. So leading up to the World Championships was training at a level that I hadn't done before. I didn't want to get up on the world stage and think I could have done more, I should have practiced harder, I should have put more hours in. They tally all the scores and they go first, second, third, fourth, and I held my breath.
And in fifth place, from the Kenny School in the Midlands, England, Taylor Hahn.
Elation, like just disbelief.
He's done it. Little bugger's done it.
One of the girls just texted and went 5.
I couldn't believe it, you know, I was just gobsmacked.
I walk out with the biggest grin on my face, like this is the moment that I'd always dreamed of.
It was so surreal for a Kiwi to be on the podium, and yeah, everybody was crying. I remember that. Even Steve had tears in his eyes, he just couldn't believe it.
And I remember looking out into the auditorium and I could see my mum and dad there who had flown all the way over from New Zealand. I had my dance teachers, Mike and Rose, who taught me in England, and also Sean and Kathy, who were my dance teachers from New Zealand.
It was just so special to see someone, you know, where they set a goal and they put their life aside to achieve that goal and work for it, and it works for them. It is a very special moment.
It was a few months later where I'd gone over to Ireland for a competition, and a friend that I was staying with said to me, hey, they're doing an open audition for Lord of the Dance. And I just thought, oh, how amazing. Like, this is the show that, you know, inspired me to get into Irish dancing. For the first 3 weeks, it was Monday to Friday, 9 till 6, learning the show. Come the end of those 3 weeks, they were starting to make cuts. The dance master comes over and she gets all the boys together and she says to us, well, if you haven't noticed, this is the amount of boys that we need for the show, so you're in.
I had this silly little squeaky voice going, have you got something to tell me? And he said I got in, and it was just like, I had to leave. I had to leave where I was working to walk away from the tills and everything, and all they heard was the screaming from down one of the aisles, and I heard a lady say, "Do you think that woman won lotto?"
To get Lord of the Dance was something he'd always wanted to do, and it was just another goal for him that he'd ticked off.
First of all, I've never even seen Lord of the Dance, and I'm finally seeing it. Then I'm seeing it with my kid in it, and then I'm seeing Michael Flatley as well.
Such an amazing moment to be standing on stage in London with the very show that had got me into Irish dancing.
We were sitting in our seats and one of the blokes come along and said, "Oh, are you Steve and Wendy?" And we said, "Yeah." And he said, "Just stay there till after everyone's, cleared out."
After the show that night, the manager brought my mum and dad backstage to see me and Michael Flatley, and I hadn't seen mum and dad for over a year.
Your son, from where he come from as a 5-year-old, up to that, and I just over the moon.
So we did 6 months on London's West End with Lord of the Dance, and then after that I went on tour. Travelled to 17 countries, 77 cities, and performing over 300 shows. Got to perform at Wembley Arena in London, got to do the O2 in Berlin. Got to perform for my friends and family back in Wellington, and the first time Lord of the Dance had ever been to New Zealand. Just phenomenal. So at the moment, I'm studying a Bachelor of Broadcasting Communications at the New Zealand Broadcasting School. I was really excited to move on to something different and start a new chapter in my life. When you do something for that long and it's such an integral part of your life, you kind of feel like there's a part of you missing when you stop doing it. I'm always still going to go down to the studio and put my shoes on and do something that gave me so much joy for 17 years.